Okay, so we've been talking about how things digital have completely rewritten the landscape. We now come to our last presentation from Erik Ljungberg, who's the Senior Vice President of Corporate Relations at Scania. Now, you might know Scania as a services company, manufacturing company rather, but actually it's now moving into services thanks to digital. So would you welcome Erik Ljungberg?
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having this opportunity to address to you on behalf of Scania on this very exciting subject. Also, a big thank you for getting the opportunity to present as last presenter today. Scania have some 125,000 connected vehicles as we speak. This is a snapshot from yesterday. And this is where the trucks are now in the world. Every dot represents one truck. And as you can see, also a reflection, the Silk Road does exist on this picture. We are also gathering some 1 billion kilometers every month. So it's a lot of data we are getting in on this now. This is maybe how many look upon us and our industry. Trucks, heavy drivers, tough life. Scania is really moving from being a truck manufacturer and understanding how important the drivers actually are to become a provider of sustainable and profitable transport solutions. Scania's aim is to be the leader in sustainable transport. We know that the demand for transport and mobility will increase in the world, and therefore, we will also see the challenges which comes with it. And we have to work on those, of course, because it will increase the amount of CO2 in the air. We will have more harmful emissions, and we will see traffic accidents. And there, we believe that since we are part of the problem, we also have to be a part of the solution. Scania traditionally work on horizontal in this triangle. We are working towards the transport companies to make their life easier, to make our customers earn more money. What we have understood lately is that we also need to understand how the buyers of transport services, the IKEAs of the world, or the Volkswagen of the world, how they are thinking when they buy the transports. If we can understand and work in this triangle in a more effective way, we will create a much more sustainable transport system in the world, which is a necessity. At Scania, then, we work, of course, with developing technology, more fuel-efficient vehicles. We work with alternative fuels. We work with electrification. But the big leap, compared to these small steps, is if we can work in the entire flow of goods and people. Because we know that there are so much waste in the system, unfortunately we cannot see it. Transporting a produced shirt from China to a home in Riga will create waste. The problem is we can't see it. And we have a long tradition at Scania to work in flows in our production facilities, and it's easy to see the flow there. But it's not in the logistical system. And here we believe, and we are sure that connectivity and connected things will help us on this journey. As I said in the beginning, we have some 125,000 vehicles. We are delivering more than 5,000 vehicles per month, which are connected. And now we can see the facts and how this journey takes off. Last year we had some 16% of the total population of Scanias in the world being connected. This year, at the end of this year, it will be some 26%. and in 2020 we will already have 80% of our trucks connected. As a comparison, I saw a figure that 2% of the cars in the world were connected last year. But of course, it's not only about collecting the data. It's about what you do with the data, of course. So now, please have a look how we are working with the data we are gathering from our customers. We are turning 125 years next year, so we have a great future, I believe. This is the black box which we connect our vehicles with. It's the hardware. It allows us to communicate in 3 dimensions. We have the communication within the vehicle to make the vehicle more efficient, the computers between components, to reduce fuel consumption, for example, and reduce wear and tear of the vehicle. We have the communication between the vehicles and Scania so that we can provide better services to our customers. One of the services we have produced the last years is driver training, for example, driver coaching. Here we can see exactly how they have been driving the trucks. Or you can download the service history of a vehicle, and you can even import the entire history of the vehicle to make a better specification next time you sell a vehicle to the same customer. And then we have the communication between different vehicles in the transport system, then making it better maybe to find roads which are available, reducing car-truck accidents or bus accidents or traffic accidents. The potential is now also then to connect the whole society and the whole transport system into this. Unfortunately, we can't do that alone. We need then to cooperate with the ICT companies. We need a wider deployment of that. We also need the legislators then to work in the right direction and in the same direction. That's how we can make this to a real efficient and sustainable bloodstream of our society. Our vision is to have a control tower and control management of the mobility of people and the transport of goods in the future, like we know from the airline industry. If we can connect the goods into this, we will be able to reduce the waste in the transport system, as I spoke about before. With help from connectivity, we can make the waste visual, and then we can take out the waste. That's actually the core of a lean production system, if you have heard about that. I can speak another half an hour about this, what we are doing on the product side, but I won't do that. I will mention 2 things. Connectivity is an important part to get autonomous driving on the right track, but you need camera technology as well. And then platooning, if you have heard about that, when you connect the trucks very close to each other to reduce the air drag, which is a very effective method of getting the fuel efficiency on a better level. So let me then conclude. More transports of goods, mobility of people will be needed, and we need to cut the connection of increased demand for transport and the increase of harmful emissions, traffic accidents, and CO2 emissions. And we believe that connectivity is the tool that will help us to do that. But of course, we can't do this alone. We need to do it with our customers, with our customers' customers. We need to do it with the ICT companies, and we need to do it with the legislators and regulators. From my point of view, connectivity is not a nice-to-have thing in our industry 124 years later. It will be a game changer. It will change, most likely, our position in the entire value chain, and it will also change our business model. My final comment would be that I believe the work which is now done on the digital single market, the data protection, is extremely important for our society. Let us make it smart now, so we do not destroy the possibilities we have on making our transport systems more sustainable and efficient, because I believe that that is one of the biggest challenges we have on this earth, actually, going forward. And by that, I'm ready.
Thank
Vivienne.
you. That was absolutely fascinating. Who knew what went on in a Scania truck? I mean, I'm very impressed by that. I think one of the really interesting things is, you know, you're seeing the whole digital revolution sweep through industry after industry, and some have yet got it to come. I'm thinking of the pharmaceutical supply chain, which hasn't yet gone digital. But here are you pioneering this new digital revolution in transport. And I wondered how you dealt with the problem of big data, because you have enormous quantities of data, presumably, coming back from your trucks. How do you deal with that? And do you have enough of the informaticians, the data analysts that you need in order to really sweat the assets of that data?
The answer on your second question is no. For sure not, because this is something new for us. But I think it's important to take it step by step. The engineers, the developers, the researchers, they will know after a while what they need, what kind of data they need to do the products better. I think that our dealers, the service workshops, will also understand after a while, I can take care of this truck in a much faster way. So that is the business model that will drive how we use the data. But I think we have to take it step by step. But I think we have a frustration because we have so much data today, and we know that you can do so much about it, but we have to take it step by step. Okay,
what are we hearing from our Twitter feed?
Well, we are certainly hearing one word, and it's again data. People also talk about the privacy consideration, especially Kirlis Solovyos. I hope I read it correctly. So he would like to hear more about privacy consideration. And then there is a second question from Janus Sandsgaard, asking, this is Scania in 2015. How is Scania in 2025, and what is the role of the EU?
Oh, let's take
I have the answer, of course. In 2025 or 2030, we are going to be recognized as a true partnership-driven leader in the shift towards a more sustainable transport solution or a transport system. So this is something we are working very much to change our brand image of the company as well. So this is answer to your second question, how we would like to change the image of Scania being only a truck manufacturer, a bus manufacturer, engine manufacturer, also selling a little bit of service and spare parts, to really take the lead in this change which we really need to see in the society.
And what about the privacy element, the spy in the cab, that kind of idea?
It's a really complex question, because we have human beings in the trucks and the buses. And we need to handle that carefully, of course. We know that the single most important actor in the transport system today for safety, economy, and bottom line on every transport company is the driver. So we really need to focus on them and get them on board when we do this journey. But we also need to understand that this is business to business. This is a machine production equipment doing a work for us in the society. And we see great opportunities, and we should not take away, as I said before, these opportunities by handling this in such a way that we can't do anything with the data. So that is the answer, or the try to answer this very complex question.
Okay, let's have the lights up. Can we have the lights up? A quick question before we... there's one there and there's one there. Let's...
Nicholas Lindner, you just spoke about the importance of the driver, and I would like to hear a bit of your thoughts about automated driving and the role of the driver. Do we still need the driver in the future, in 10, 20 years? Thanks.
Oh, we're going down the whole autonomous track.
For sure we need a driver, but I think in some areas we may not need a driver. So in a mine, for example, we really don't want to send people down in mines, do we? So why not have automotive driving there to start with? I don't think we should have self-driving vehicles in 10 years in everywhere on every road. That's not possible, of course. But I think in some areas, and there you can start to work with it in a very good and efficient way.
That's a whole debate in itself.
Yes.
There's someone over there.
Yes, I'm Ola Landström from the Swedish National Board of Trade. Firstly, I find it interesting that I didn't see one single red dot on the United States on that map that you've shown, and I would like to know why that is. Secondly, I would like to have your views on what is to be considered personal data. We see now when we talk to the data protection officers that the definition is changing, and a new definition in a data protection regulation would have to take into account the technological advancements in these areas. Maybe now when someone is driving your trucks, the information that the truck sends out wouldn't be considered personal data. But in the future we might have new algorithms that might show things about this person or make him identifiable.
Okay, so his truck stops. And
no, so that if you get access to that data, you can see who this person is and maybe know things about him, because you can just use
like his truck stops along the way when he wasn't supposed to have stopped, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So very quickly.
North America is very easy. We are not selling any trucks there, so that's the answer. And we have not done them since ever. So that's why we don't have any dots in North America. So that's the answer on that. Coming back to the question regarding personal data, as I said, this is a very, very complex question, of course. But I would like to repeat what I've said, I think, 2 times already, that let's try to find the right way here. We can maybe use also anonymous data. I've been in contact with Ericsson on that, how they would like to see this. How can we aggregate anonymous data from slippery roads, for example, without saying who is driving there, just to warn other people. And that is a fantastic thing for us to prohibit, for example, traffic accidents. This is a complex question, I know that, but we need to do this right to really don't miss the opportunities we have with this.
Okay, that's an enormous subject.
I know.
I know there's another question, but I'm afraid talk to him afterwards. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very well deserved. Thank you.